It's not because I want to give you a pep talk or because I want to make you feel good about yourselves. No, I'm here to tell you the truth.
I don't hear you, Robin. I don't know if anybody hears me. We've had nothing but technical.
Can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you see the chat? One in the chat? Yay! They can hear us! Yay!
No, they can't hear me. They can't hear me, though. You can hear both of us. How the fuck? All right. That's not so sorry for the language. We have a million technical. I don't think Robin can hear me. Can you hear me, Robin?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I can hear you.
Really? All right. You're going to need to send a link to our guests who don't know where the hell we are, and we're going to have to uncluster ourselves.
Why can't I hear you?
You can't hear me now, or no? No. All right. One more time before I go into a monologue to try to explain what's going on. Can I get a one from people that let me know you can still hear me?
Cat
one,
says,
one, one.
keep on cussing.
I don't know if anybody's hearing me still.
Yep.
All right.
We're
All right, listen.
ones.
All right, listen, everybody. I'm so sorry for the constant technical difficulties. First of all, let me tell you a little irony about tonight's show. Part of the reason why we lost communication is because you don't have fucking cell phone communication outside of Pullman if you go to a Wallway Park. Let me make that clear. I haven't had cell phone communication because you lose cell phone communication when you leave Pullman heading towards Wallway Park. Just thought I'd let you know, by the way, for all the people who say you're a nut, you have cell phone coverage all over the campus. No, you do not. You have no cell phone coverage all outside of Pullman if you head towards Wallway Park. Just thought I'd throw that out there in case you wanted to know that little tidbit. So that's part of the reason why we're having a little bit of technical difficulties from Moscow. So I am standing in Moscow. By the way, I had just passed an MPD police officer. Don't know his name. I didn't ask for the officer's name. He was in a car. I was in a car. So we didn't have a chat, but we might have a chat later as I'm having to walk around a parking lot in Moscow. I may have already been recognized when I'm here on the street, so that's fun. Joe is checked into a hotel. We're both checked into a hotel, actually, but we are having nothing but a series of clusters. So here we go. Let's explain a little bit what's going on. And I'm going to let Robin take the lead once I kind of explain a bit what's going on. So first of all, yeah, it's the anniversary of the Idaho 4 murders. It's 3 years to the day of the murders. We are in Moscow. We spent the day today, Joe and I, down in Lewiston, Idaho, going past a house related to the crime. If you ask me, that's at least peripherally related. We went to Clarkston and went through a couple of locations related to, at least peripherally, to the crimes there in Clarkston. And then Joe and I recorded about 2.5 hours of raw footage of us driving the Snake River from Clarkston, Washington to Wallway Park. Again, with no cell coverage, but we have good recording. We talked with some fascinating details and great footage of all the places you can pull over and dump objects into the Snake River right off the thing. And again, allegedly, by some token or some official narratives, Brian Koberger took a trip along the Snake River the morning of the murders down to Clarkston, went into Albertsons, went into Costco, and some believe that he dumped potentially the knife and the clothes in the Snake River. So I took JJ from State of the Deep on that trip, and we we got out of the car and we walked around and showed you where you can walk up to the water's edge and dump stuff. We showed you a couple places it would be easy to do that kind of thing. We theorized long and hard about whether or not somebody would do that, whether that made any sense or not. And there's some really great footage I want to share with you guys later on that. Couple of more things I want to tease real quick before I let Robin take I'm catching my breath. We have been scrambling so hard to make it to Moscow in time for being here. There was a moment I tried to talk Joe into literally having me do this live from a location pertinent to the crime. He thought it might be a poor idea for several reasons. One, because you can't see much at night. I mean, as you can see behind me, I'm at night and I'm in a parking lot. And as I do this, I could be in trouble, right? Because people are going to be like, I know where he's fucking at right now. So if somebody doesn't like my channel, I could have some guests. So there is a danger to me to do this. So what I want to share with you is a couple things that we're going to do. It's only $3, but if you're not a subscriber or sorry, if you haven't joined as a member, consider joining as a member. Joe and I are going to get in the car after this stream tonight, and we're going to do a members only live stream from our car driving around Moscow and Pullman. It's going to be a lot of just talking, and maybe Joe will put the phone out the window to show some things. But rather than walk the streets and tell people where we're at every given second, which could be potentially dangerous for us, we've decided to stay in the car tonight. But we're going to do it as a members only live stream. Now listen to this. I'm going to record it on high definition camera out the dash cam as we drive by places. It is also going to record the same conversation. So if you don't want to become a member to see the live stream tonight, you can watch the recording later as we snip out the best parts and put it out there for the public. That's the intention. But if you want to hear live on the scene coverage, including the potential, listen up, is there a potential we'll get pulled over by Pullman or Moscow police? Sure. And if that's on a live stream, it's going to be live. We're not going to shut the camera off if we get pulled over. So it might be something worth signing up just for that right there. So we're going to drive around. We're going to do that live stream for members only. Partly the reason why is if somebody wants to do us harm, at least they have to pay for the right to do us harm because they're going to have to pay to see the stream to see where we're at any given time. So rather than going public with everybody, so if somebody free with an asshole attitude can go find us, you're going to make you at least pay to have to see where we're at and come find us. So that's part of what's on tap for tonight. Tomorrow as well, we will do a daytime live feed, very similar, where we will be walking the streets, putting ourselves a little at risk because, again, if somebody means us harm, they could do us harm. But we'll make that also, when we're live streaming from the streets in front of locations, that live stream will be for members only. So at least you have to pay for the ability to do us harm. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you check into that. That'll be later after tonight's show. Okay, Robin, I'm going to let you talk for a while and get us unclusterfuck.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. So thank you guys so much for hanging in there with us. It's been a little bit challenging, but to DA's point, now you know that once you get out of Pullman towards Huawei Park, you know, you don't have cell service. So I think we all know what that means, don't we? So we're going to be joined by Jason tonight. Of course, Joe is with Lee, those guys, those vagabonds out there on the road. 1-1 will be here at some point. I know he had a prior engagement. And just to touch on Tommy Jude, I'm going to add Jason to the stage. And he had to go last night before he had a chance. He wants to say a couple things about Tommy. So, Jason, go ahead. And I know you had a couple things you wanted to say.
Can't
about
hear
Tommy
anybody.
Jude.
Hi, everyone. I can't hear you. Sorry. Hello, testing, testing. Can you hear me? Oh, good. I wish I could read sign language because I can't hear either one of you. You want to say something? Say something now. Again, try, please, to me.
Something now.
Can you hear
You
me
said
now?
you love me? If
Yeah,
not,
right.
then I unfortunately, I didn't hear you if you didn't say you love me. Damn it. I wish sorry. I'm glad you laughed anyway. Do what you want with me. Put me backstage, whatever you want to do, or figure it out later, whatever you guys want. But
Okay. All right. I'll
Robin,
bring him back up in a moment.
Okay, Molly said she heard all three of us. Robin, for some reason, Molly said she could hear. Yeah, and I could hear him, and you and Molly can hear him. So we have amazing technical difficulties.
Oh, it's just great, and of course I'm trying to get him by alternate means. So go out
By the way, I feel a little bit more than naked. I have
yeah, why
self
don't
protection. I have self protection of many kinds, and they're all up in the hotel room. So I'm out naked in the parking lot with nothing but my sharp wit and these deadly fists. If I ever have somebody confront me, because all of my self protection stuff is up. Whoa, wait! I got one self protection mechanism in here. I got one. I got one defense besides my sharp wit and my hands of steel. But other than that, let's see what else. I'm getting text messages.
okay. He's
Yeah.
going to go
So,
back out
so
and come back in.
I've got a few people who have my personal text messages and they're laughing their ass off. Like, you need to do this more often. This shit's phenomenal.
Where's your
I'm not,
e-bike? You need an e-bike. Come on,
I
man.
will fucking, I will do, I will do anything for you guys. I'll jump on an e-bike and I will pedal my ass to the crime scene if I have to. I have to be very quiet because you have to be aware. This is a touchy time of year for people around here, I'm sure. So I'm not sure.
Oh yeah.
We kind of want to keep it on the down low, but also we're not here to cause any problems. So my thought is we can walk the streets and talk, and hopefully everybody will leave us alone, and we'll leave them alone, and we'll just have a conversation. So.
Right. Yeah, I see that 1111. I see you cackling. I see you.
This shit's phenomenal.
Oh my goodness.
So what
But
else can I tell you?
so
I killed a bird tonight. I'm such an animal lover. Literally, let me tell you a little funny story. Did you send a link to Joe? Because Joe's waiting for the link to get backstage. He needs a link sent to him.
I don't have Joe's cell phone.
Send it to State of the Deep. If you click on the presentation, his email address, you should have his email address, right? State of the Deep.
Yeah. There it is. I got it now.
You got it?
Yep.
All right. So anyways, we believe when we were coming out of the canyon from Huawei Park to Pullman, and we had no cell service, so we had to guess the general direction because, you have no cell service when you leave Pullman and going towards the direction of Huawei Park, like somebody said. But anyways, when we were leaving Huawei Park, we noticed, first of all, from the driver's seat, Joe said, "Oh my God, there's a bear over there." And I'm telling you now, we're in a desert environment, so I'm not sure about the bear, but what he saw was a giant black shape that looked like a bear to him. And he's like, "Look over there, there's a bear." Now it's getting dusk and the sun's going down, and a truck quickly pulled over at the same time. He's like, "Oh my God, there's a bear there." It's as if the truck in front of us saw the same thing. He pulled over and turned in front of us to put his lights down in the canyon where we saw the bear. And so we're all looking at the side. Now I'm looking ahead. I know it's ahead of the road and there's nothing there except for the fucking two damn quails. And as I'm looking at the bear, all of a sudden I hear Joe go, "Oh!" And I heard a poof, and we hit a quail. And I feel horrendous. We smucked it. And I hate it. I haven't hit an animal for forever. So I'm sorry for the animal lovers out there. All I can say is it was quick. But it was quite the adventure. So feel a little bad. Maybe it was a werewolf. Maybe it was Bigfoot. Maybe it was a bear. We don't know.
All right.
So it's an adventure.
Yep, that's for sure. Bear with me.
Trying to get some people upstage with us.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on. Why?
And here's the worst part about this, Robin. Oh my God, I'm so unprepared. I've got multiple. What do they call those? Those battery banks that you can get with USB cables so you can recharge your phone on the fly. I bought multiples of those for my business because I know, hey, you know what? Sometime I'm going to be streaming from the street and I'm going to need to keep battery power. So now I'm sitting at 30% battery power, and I packed no battery packs. So now I've got to sit there and figure out how long I'm going to do the parking lot stream before I give up on the battery dying here. But the good news is when we go on the drive tonight for members only, that'll be plugged into the USB port on the car, so we should have no problem other than cell phone service. So obviously, I can't take you on the nighttime Huawei Park drive because guess what? You lose cell phone coverage if you go south out of Pullman towards Walloway Park. But anyways, that's another thing. I fucking hitting like a redheaded stepchild. All right. Thank you for becoming a member. I saw that we had a member, Marcy Gilmore. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Hopefully you'll get to watch that live stream. Again, now I say this with a little caveat. Joe and I have not done well, technically speaking, tonight. We at the hotel that we were in last night, the Wi-Fi dropped out twice on us. Tonight we're in a different hotel, and the Wi-Fi had a major problem. I couldn't get connected, only Joe could. And then when he got connected, they said, hey, if you want good speed, you got to pay extra. And then we had to fight for trying to find a credit card to be able to pay extra so we can get good speed. And in the process, Robin's like, oh my God, there's nobody backstage and I don't have a go live button. And then I went like, fuck it. I grabbed my phone. I went down to the parking lot and here I am trying to figure this shit out on the fly. I have no idea what's happening up in the hotel room. Yeah.
And the email doesn't want to come up. So that I can email that to Joe. What is
Oh my God.
What's Joe's email?
I'm afraid that if I get out of this, if I go to my email to tell you his email address, it's going to kick me out of the studio, but I'll give it a shot.
Come on. Okay. In the meantime, I am going to go ahead and bring up Jason, and I'm going to put DA on the back burner a second. Jason, can you hear me?
Hello, Robin. Did you say something? I can't hear.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Nothing. I can't believe it. I can't hear you again. And my mic is not on mute or anything.
Well, we can hear you. So
okay, I got your message through a different app. So thank you for allowing me to and asking me to speak on Tommy Jude. Once Upon a Crime Time, right? Yeah, it's amazing, first of all, that, as you know, Robin and others, how he was able to connect with so many people abroad, in different countries, carrying this crime channel. I'm sure he had that ability to connect with other people probably through most of his life, if not his entire life. He had that gift, that ability, and of course, a master communicator is part of that. And as you sort of alluded to, I think when you were breaking down yesterday a bit, that he had, a lot of compassion, right? And that's why I think he resonated and connected with a lot of people. He was a very smart man, and he was like us. He was obsessed in a way with the Idaho 4. And I was privileged and honored, as I told you, Robin, that he invited me on as one of many guests over the years. He invited me on where I don't know how long he carried his show for. But anyway, he invited me on as well to speak one-on-one about my extraction, removal, operation, stage crime scene theory, that the students are alive. He really wanted to hear it from me after he first heard it from Birdie. I believe they did a one-on-one interview, and then I took the reins, and I was happy, eager to discuss connecting those dots, which I believe took place that night, that there wasn't a crime scene. And anyway, Tommy did, as you know, many, many great videos, one after another. Obviously, not everybody agreed or followed Tommy. Sometimes he would get razzed online, as many of us do, and trolls. But I think, obviously, the majority of people that gave Tommy a few minutes, they understood this. He was the real deal by and large. He was a great guy, great man, great person, and God rest his soul. Those are some of the things at the top of my head to discuss there about the great Tommy Jude. Unfortunately, I won't hear your feedback unless all of a sudden the audio works. But thanks for allowing me to say that piece. And we figure the audio in a few minutes. Great. If not, it'll be interesting to see what the hell happened.
Yeah, that it's certainly been interesting with these issues we're having. But yeah, Tommy, I do remember him.
By the way, I'll put my hand up if I hear you.
Okay. That was actually where I first heard about your channel was from Tommy, as with many times. So, yep, it's a very special guy, and he's going to be greatly missed. But we will carry on, and he would want it that way. So, all right, I'm going to bring Lee back up to the stage here in a minute.
Hey, I'm gonna go back into the hotel for a minute and get myself a little bit more protection. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. No problem. Okay. So, till we can get Jason's issues figured out here, and Lee is ready to rock and roll again. He can give me a thumbs up or something when he is, and get Joe squared away. Um, what is the thing that you guys think is the most shady since this whole thing began 3 years ago? Is it the PCA? Just cover up in general? Is it the families of the victims? Let's hear some of your theories about what you find to be, I guess you want to say, almost like the most false out of, knowing what we knew then to what we know now. I'd really like to hear some of your thoughts on this. All of it. Yeah, Amanda. Yeah, right. Pretty much everything. Pretty much. Pretty much. I think for me, it really does go back to the PCA. And as a newbie to the true crime community at that time, my fiance, Essie, she's the one actually who is the true crime buff from way back in the day. I'm talking about in high school, when we were in high school. And so, she kept talking about this case, and she'd be like, "Here, watch this, watch this." And so we'd watch, and yep, I got hooked and started watching Lana go through the PCA, the falsehoods in the PCA, and from there it just went on to more and more creators, and just been hooked ever since. Right there with the rest of you folks. So I feel very privileged to be a part of the community now, and so what else? The 8 hours. Oh yes, those 8 hours, those pesky 8 hours that they keep trying to explain away. Uh, and I know there's more stuff coming around with still people trying to investigate the bell chimes from the bell tower to see whether or not they are correct, or whether the time difference is still impeding there. I know there's been various creators working with the deltas and the time differences. Look, I'm no math wizard, so I can't even begin to compete with you math wizards who out there who can do the deltas and figure out this. I had a uh, professor in college just essentially hand me a C on a silver platter so that I could get out of his class because I annoyed his ass so much. All right, I am going to send this link here to Mr. State of the Deep. Bear with me a moment. Please keep putting your theories and so forth in the chat. Do, do, do. Mhm. You guys are the best. Okay. Link has been sent so that we can get him up there and see what other interesting stories he can tell for us this evening. Okay. Ah, the sheath, that looks brand new. Yes, Amanda, that is so true. Why? Why is there no blood on there? It certainly doesn't look like any blood on there to me. Oh, well, hello there, Mr. 11. One moment here. There he is. Can you hear me, 11?
I can hear you.
Okay, can you guys hear 11? Put a 1
I'm
in chat.
in my car driving, so hopefully you can hear me all right.
Yep, I can hear you. Can you guys hear him? Yay, they can hear you. Excellent,
All
excellent.
right.
So
How is everyone doing tonight?
we've had, well, no surprise, we've had technical difficulties. StreamYard was being a bitch to me. So, so you know, but we made it and we're here.
Good, good.
And Lee and Joe are at the hotel. And so they are getting everything on their end, hopefully straightened out. They've been having some issues themselves with reception and stuff over in Pullman.
Yeah, this is a tough week for me. So first we lost Tommy Jude yesterday, and
Yeah.
I'm actually I just left him. We had a party tonight. It's basically like a donation type party. One of the cops that works at my command has stage 4 cancer. So,
Oh man.
and he looks, you know, his family is there and everything.
Yeah.
It looks like he lost. Crazy. I haven't seen him in a few months. He's lost a crazy amount of weight. It's just horrible.
Okay, I'm just checking to see if Jason can hear me. Okay, doesn't look like he can still, but let's see here. Okay, there's the fellas. Are you guys ready?
Are you guys getting an echo from us?
No.
Nah, I hear you fine.
Okay, let us know if there's an echo, and we'll try to move away from the speaker. We had to use, for both of us to do, we had to use the speakers on my computer and the microphone.
So we can see him.
No, we hear you fine.
Yeah, you're just not going to see us fine because we're trying to. This is the biggest cluster.
We can see you. Okay.
We see you. We see you fine.
I can boost my mic, so it'll pick us both up. How's everybody doing?
Good.
They can hear you.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Den.
This is a complete disaster.
It's been an interesting day.
Can't hear us.
Who can't hear us?
Wait a minute. Let me see. Jason, can you hear us now?
Wow.
No, he must not. Where'd he go?
Oh, somebody lost their
Jason,
husband.
can you hear me? He's there.
You know what I'm about to say? Once again, I can't hear anybody.
It might be
the only thing I can think of that might work is if I unplug my mic, but I don't think that's going to make any difference. It said my mic was working, but maybe it'll allow me to hear you guys. Should I do that?
What if his audio input's
glad
not
you can hear
set
me.
to his headphones?
I
Or
just hear myself.
Is
Yeah.
it battery
Sorry.
powered? It could have died.
I like
If they're
hearing my
Bluetooth
voice
headphones,
a lot, but
battery could
not
have
to this
died.
extreme.
I don't
Oh, I
see
see
a
a Lee
wire.
down there on the
Oh,
right.
yeah, no, it's a wire.
Lee, do you should I bother? Maybe that way I can hear you. Oh,
Wow.
It's one of his settings, obviously.
Yeah, it's got to be his
Yeah.
setting. He can't because he can't hear, so he's got to be either his earphones
Yeah,
or
everyone
not
else
set.
can hear and everything, so it has to be
Yeah,
his.
we can hear you.
Did we lose him again? Are you there?
We're getting some great
Jason.
nipple shots. We're getting some great nipple shots. Let him know that we're getting some great nipple shots.
great nipple
You can
shots.
type that
I
on
heard
Facebook.
that.
I'm not typing.
You heard that?
I fucking heard that. Why
You
did
ha-
it all of a sudden it's allowing me to hear that?
You're
I unplugged my mic.
I'm pretty sure your
Fucking
nipples
Louie
are.
can hear it.
Yeah.
We hear you.
We're almost getting this shit together. It's a complete cluster. If nobody, they're not going to see me because the comments are over my face, but that's okay. I can be not so vain. Robin, if you want help taking the parental advisory off the corner, we can do that as well.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
All right. So on the right-hand side over in StreamYard, when you're not looking at the comments, you have all the options. One of the options is like media assets or layouts or whatever. And there's one that's you just have to untoggle the parental advisory one. I'm not in my studio. I can't really tell you. I have to go by memory. And it
Cinema
sucks.
layout, picture.
Yeah, there's layout. There's something about layouts or overlays. It's an overlay is what it is. It's an overlay. You got to turn off the overlay. Oh my God.
Can you pin
Good
people
evening
for
to
me?
you
Or
all.
no, I don't have that.
Not
capacity.
unless you're a moderator or.
Do you want me? I can take the comments off of stage.
Yeah, you can do that. That way you can see me ghosting in and out all the time because I can't hold my mouth straight and get seen on. Not that it matters. I shouldn't be so vain that I need to be on camera. You can just hear my disembodied voice, and that's fine with me.
But
Probably look
where's
like
the
shit tonight,
media?
anyways.
So,
You
So
do
you
not.
guys
You guys look great.
you guys are surviving Moscow, huh?
It's early, sir. It's early.
We just got here not long before, and we drove into town and went right to the hotel. We drove through Pullman, though.
Pullman, all right.
But
Did
we
you
were
see any
on
drug dealers?
Not yet.
No.
we were on some, all those back roads on the way here, and it's pretty creepy out there along the smelly snake rivers. It smells like tadpoles.
Oh my God.
It really does.
Never smelled a tadpole.
You could smell the river. I mentioned it. I'm like, dude, what's that smell? It smells like tadpoles. It's a stinky river. It should be named the Stinky River, not Snake River.
The Snake's not one of the cleanest rivers, I'll tell you that.
It doesn't smell like it.
Yeah. All right. So here's the deal, yo. So again, let me reiterate I can't even tell, like normally I can tell how many people are watching. Do we even have 30 people or are we like some crippled,
Yeah,
completely crushed?
43 people here.
All right. So I would love to say this with confidence, but considering that the way we started tonight, the confidence level is now much lower than it was. But Joe and I, after much debate in the car, decided that what we'd do is we'd join the live here for the public stream from the hotel room, which we thought was going to go easy peasy. Boy, were we freaking wrong about that. There's been nothing but disasters. But like I said, when we get out of this live, Joe and I are going to drive around nighttime areas, both Moscow and Pullman, in the car, and we're going to do a live members only stream. So it's basically going to be not a lot you can see. It's going to be live streaming of Joe and I talking about things. Now I will encourage Joe to roll his window down and put the camera out the window so he can get some footage or something as we drive around. But the idea is that we didn't necessarily feel comfortable at night telling people public, here we are standing in the corner of this place and this place right now, so someone can look out their window and go, is that motherfucker down there right now? And start crap with us. So rather what we do is being a little safe. We're going to drive around tonight and talk about things and do it as a live stream, members only. And now I will have a 4K camera shooting at high resolution out the front of the car. And I'll be making that footage available later. That camera will also be recording the same conversation that's going to happen on the members only live. So if you're not a member You may get to see some of that or hear some of that audio when we cut the best pieces out for a public video later, if that makes any sense. So if you want to watch the live stream from Pullman, Moscow tonight, and we may be up late tonight, we may be around town very, very late tonight. If you want to be part of that live raw stream shit, make sure you sign up and we'll do a lot of talking. You should have been there for the conversation. I think, Joe, the conversation we had today along the snake was pretty fascinating. So I think if people would have enjoyed hearing that alone, but anyways, so we're going to.
DA, by the way, has bought a very high-tech camera mount for his car, like a dash for his dashboard. It's super high-tech.
Well, yeah. So about that, I've lost several things on this trip. One of which was my camera mount for the window. So I ended up going to a Walmart to buy a bean bag to try to hold my camera to the dash with a bean bag so it wouldn't slide around. However, they didn't have bean bags, so I bought a bag of bird seed. So I've got a giant bag of bird seed on the front of my dash to hold the camera there, which is not working out well because the entire bag of bird seed and camera goes sliding to the left or the right and spills on the floor and in Joe's lap, where he's like, if you hit me in the crotch one more time with the camera, I'm going to pull over and whoop your ass. So there's that. It's been interesting.
DA is exactly how you think he is, just so you know.
We can figure that out. A bag of bird seed. Who'd have thunk it that would be part of a
Let me tell you another
YouTuber's
thing.
equipment.
Joe's working me like a redheaded stepchild for thinking that I owe him a ton of money. And let me tell you how that worked out. So what also happened is 3 times when I was checking my luggage, I have a nice action cam. It's like a GoPro, but it's a different company, Insta360. I put the link up before in the affiliate link, but it costs about $500. It's an expensive camera, right? And it shoots fantastic video. 3 times I checked my bag to make sure it was there. And when we got together to go for the ride to Kuna to go drive by Koberger and say hi to Koberger, and I don't know if you heard us say, but we went up there and told them, hey, we're the CIA, we're here to see Koberger, and they were letting us right in. And then they went on to see our ID, and that just went to shit. That part's not true, but it was something we talked about doing. But anyway, the point being is that I said, hey, look, let's get the camera out for the drive to Kuna. And it was gone. It was missing. And I flipped out. I was looking at, we pulled my entire bag out.
Oh, you did.
I did 3 times, I think 3 times. I finally said, fuck it. I'm going to Best Buy. I'm buying another camera. I know it's $500, but you know what? I can always return it if I find my camera later on. I know that's not going to make the Best Buy happy, right?
And what did I say before you bought the camera?
He said, before you buy that camera, let me check your stuff one time. I said, dude, it's not there. I checked it 3 times. So I bought the box. $500. I ring it up. They're working me like a hooker, trying to get me to get a credit card and a special deal and $45 off. I'm like, dude, I just need the camera. Just give me the camera. So I got the camera for $500 and it's sealed. And I went to the car and I said, okay, Joe, this is your one shot. Before I break the seal on this camera, you get your one shot. So he went through my shit and he goes, it's right here. And I was like, crap. So I go back into Best Buy with the sealed package after I just bought it and said, I need to return this. And like, why the hell would you need to return it? And I'm like, look, I'm a YouTuber. I needed a camera on the fly and I found my camera. And the guy goes, YouTube? What do you do? What channel do you have? So it was kind of interesting. But then Joe's like, well, you owe me $500. I just saved you $500. So
I warned him. I told him I'd find it before he bought the camera. So anyway, by the way, Estes Crime Maze, we had some interesting discussions driving along the Snake River that I think you're going to appreciate when you see the video.
Oh, good. All
yeah,
right.
well, we should probably tell him a little. It was funny because what Joe did is he says, I want to force you, DA, to accept the premise that this might have been an extraction removal operation, and let's work through the logic. How would that look, and what would it? And he made me, and I had a real hard time. I told him, dude, I can't. He's like, you have to stick with it. If it was an extraction thing, does that explain this? Does that explain this? It was a good conversation.
Good for you, Joe.
Yeah, I tried to steelman the extraction operation with him, and I made him. I said, no, I'm steelmanning the argument. That doesn't mean that's what I definitely think it is. I said, so I gave examples of what would make that make sense. And I made a compelling argument. Yeah. And we shouted out Estes Crime Maze numerous times because I said, look, no, you got it. We're steelmanning it. We are trying to sell this theory.
Love it.
And I think I did a good job of selling it.
Yeah.
Well done. One thing that I forget a lot. Oh, sorry, one. Can I mention this real quick?
Okay.
I know other people have mentioned it too, but I think it's worth repeating. Do you not find it extremely odd
and red flags that those roommates and nobody mentioned blood. All this blood everywhere, and you don't
Yeah.
mention blood? I
Right.
mean, does that not speak? Hey, well, maybe Jason's right. Estes crime agent and the others that have said this, there was no crime. But anyway, I want to bring that up. Thanks for
So,
listening.
Yeah.
so Esty, I got something for you.
You.
So I had asked you I asked a question yesterday to JJ, so I'll ask it to you again. You told me to bring it up, but before I ask you the question, I don't know if you saw any of the pictures that I posted in the Discord earlier about Kaylee,
No,
which
no,
it's
unfortunately, I
highly
don't think I did.
okay. So it's highly interesting. I find it interesting, but it kind of would go along and match with some of what you have said or suggested. So I wasn't aware of it until I saw. So I'm actually part of. I don't know how. I don't even remember how I got in. Not, I don't pay for it, but I am part of the whatever however you say their name, Goncalves family,
Gynecologist?
whatever.
Did you say
No,
gynecologist? No, it sounded like that. Sorry.
they're no, they're whatever tribute family Facebook page or
Oh,
whatever. They post a whole
okay.
bunch of stuff.
I'm with
So
you.
apparently, again, like this may be something that maybe other people knew, or I wasn't aware until they actually showed it again today. So apparently, like maybe like a month or two before this whole incident happened. Again, you could see the pictures that in the Devil's Advocate Discord. Kaylee got a
The
tattoo.
camera picks me up perfectly. It keeps looking.
Kaylee
You're a
got
vampire.
she got a tattoo on her arm that said "Wish you were here." So yes, it's a I wish you were here. Yes, it's from Pink Floyd, but it's just very interesting that she chose to get that tattoo. Wish you were here. I don't know. I
Yeah.
could see. I
I
could see
think I
that
can
being.
show those pictures.
Oh show him to Esty, and then I just wanted to mention that to him because I don't know if he had seen the. So yeah, it's just a tattoo, but again, wish you were here. That could mean many things, and
Yeah.
a lot. So and then with that, the
Yeah.
question again, like what I asked you during your live yesterday, going along with the extraction. If it was an extraction, and we know there was a lot of stuff going on with some kind of drug operation or combo with Aryan Nation operation or whatever it was, what part what do you think of Dylan and Bethany? Like if it was an extraction, like why? You answered it a little bit on your stream, but if you wouldn't mind
Yeah,
answering again, like why weren't they
sure.
extracted?
I can't wait to hear Joe and Lee and Robin's thoughts on it. I don't know if I articulated very well, or can get deep on that. That's the $1 million question. I just surmised that they weren't probably confidential informants, or at least they weren't working with dangerous, maybe criminals like Kaylee and Maddie may have been connected with, and Xana and possibly Ethan. And so for whatever reason, the U.S. Marshals knew that they were not targeted by so-called maybe Aryan family, Aryan Knights, and or cartel members. And so they were left to be, alive in the house. But certainly those four, the fact that we never saw them, again, no verification, the removal of the bodies, no pre-trial evidence of the bodies, no blood mentioned in the 911, that they disappeared for a reason. They're gone and they're not dead. So
I
does
wanted
that
to
answer it all
jump.
or not really?
Oh yeah, look at that. So look at and
Wow.
and just your comment and just your opinion, if you could, because I like hearing your guys' opinions too. Like what is your opinion? Too, I know you've mentioned the photo bomb, the night
Yes.
before, a big deal. What do you think about that tattoo?
I don't know what to think of it. It's interesting, but I guess part of it,
Yeah.
what's on my mind right now as you ask that question is, to answer your earlier question, I did get photos from another person, but I don't think it was you. You know, the Kaylee and Maddie, all these sexy, glossy photos. Some people thought they were OnlyFans photos, but the point is, apparently they were from 1122 King Road. I think it's been verified at the house. The website,
Yeah.
I believe, went down. And a friend of mine asked me, Jason, do you think that something about, do you think that was connected with the girls with working with them or selling the photos to very important people or something like that? So I'll let you guys dig in on that. I sent the photos to Lee and we could talk about it more in future videos, I thought, anyway.
Well, one thing I wanted to say about the two with Dylan and Bethany is like if there was an extraction, you can't force them to go, right? They were young, and if there was an extraction, they would have to agree to it. And if they
No.
didn't feel
No,
right,
they would have to agree. Yeah, and in part they'd have to agree normally to a WITSEC program. But if they're going to be extracted and their lives are in danger, the feds are going to extract them. They're going to come in guns a-blazing. That's what I understand. I'm not a.
I thought you would have to agree to it to go into that witness protection program. Like you can't force somebody to go into witness protection. Like they
Well,
would have to agree
No, the
to it.
feds can do what they want in these drug investigations and protecting confidential informants. I think to that, they could volunteer to get out of the WITSEC program, Joe, but maybe you are right. But I still would think that, if they need to extract students in a house and people are in danger and they're an asset to the government, these students, some of them were assets probably to the feds in some way. They are going to get them the hell out of there safe and again, out of the country. That's what they do. That's
Right.
just,
What I'm saying is that they weren't like, in other words, they weren't obvious. If that was the case, then they may not have been as involved and didn't feel like they were in danger,
right.
So that would make sense. I came up with a kind of a crazy theory that aligns with the WITSEC extraction. And I know it's out there. Again, I'm going to steel man it. That just means that I'm going to provide a way in which this could have been possible. I'm not saying I think this is what it was, but if there was a lot, hypothetically, speculation, drug activity at that house, and people in that house could have been under the gun because of things they either got caught doing or things that the school knew about, right? Because you don't
Sure.
think for a second that the school didn't know about shit that was going on in that
Right, good point.
town. They knew. A university basically would have had maximum control of that area because of their financial reach in that area. So if someone in that house was either caught involved in something or was heavily suspected, that could have been another reason for them basically saying, look, we don't need it getting out that this stuff is going on at our school. So you guys need to be out of here. And because it's a small town and they may not have wanted it to get out and if, that this stuff was going on, that an extraction could have been related to that because a school has massive financial resources and connections. And I'm going to tie this in. This is the steel man. If someone in the house allegedly was involved with a police officer, right? That may have been sort of their liaison that it was like, look, there's big money on the line right here. So these students need to disappear, and it has to be in a way that it has to be presented in a certain way so it doesn't have people in the community talking about they had to be removed because of drug activity, because everybody talks in small towns and people could have easily found out about that, and they were talking, these girls were actually had to leave the university because there was a major drug stuff going on. So again, far-fetched, but an extraction could have been initiated related to the school that they didn't want that going on. And
nothing's far-fetched in this case, dude. Come on.
Right. And if just think about it. If the school knew about it, they wanted to keep that part of it quiet, you know, who knows? I know that one
Yeah.
is a far reach compared to some of the other aspects, but I'm just saying
No, I like it. There's a
it could have.
validity to it, I think. And remember, guys, if let's say Kaylee was the target, who knows who was really the target? You know, one or more, but I think that all four their lives were in danger in some way. Kaylee, if they're gonna extract Kaylee, they're gonna extract Maddie anyways, because you know they're like this. They may have some say it was pre-planned. I kind of forgot to say that, right? We said that the other night. Probably pre-planned in my books, and they're in the same room, right? Now, Ethan and Xana, that's more questions that we may never know why the U.S. Marshals felt that why were their lives in danger? Were they related to drugs too? Was it just because they were working or tight with Kaylee and Maddie? You know, they were all really close friends, I guess, right? Not so much Bethany and Dylan, or they teased more or
Yeah.
less. They talked down to them, didn't they? Or Dylan, anyway. Does that make any sense or no?
Yeah, I mean, it again, like my whole thing is I always try to make an argument for possibilities, right?
Yeah.
Like I believe if like Lee and I always talk about, if you can pull on certain threads and get information that supports that idea, then that's a possibility that has supporting information, at least logically supporting it. And
Yeah.
so
And one more thing, excuse me. If you don't do interviews, like respectfully, I'll say it, like a Pav, and he's one of the few that I know of that has a huge channel that doesn't do interviews on the Idaho 4. When you don't do interviews, you don't get asked the hard questions like that. Pav, you know, that I asked earlier, if this was definitely, you're convinced it's an atrocity, okay, why wasn't blood mentioned on the 911 call? Again, where's the verification of the bodies being removed? Where's the forensic photos, the forensic leaks, you know, the raw crime scene photos of the crime scene? It's not there, you know, and then we get into the public open casket ceremony. And Pat, by the way, do you believe everything Steve G has said? Why isn't he crying in his interviews, dude? You know, anyway, sorry, I'm going on a rant there,
okay.
but Devil's Advocates is the best YouTube crime show. And I should have said on my live too, forgive me, Lee, I didn't say you're the most entertaining in my view. And it's because of the guests, it's because of your personality as well, and so much more. So I say
Well,
that.
thanks for the shout out earlier today, and thanks for the new member. By the way, it looks like Debbie Damon signed up as well for the members. So hopefully, they were here for the presentation of what they might get for members only content. It's a long, exhausting day, but I appreciate that, Jason Estes. I know you gave us a big shout out on your show, and I
You
appreciate
deserve
that
it.
very
You
much.
guys
Thank
all
you.
deserve it, man. I'm just honored to be part of this journey. Let's keep it going.
We're working on it. I'm sometimes I'm running on fumes. So this is going to be a whirlwind trip. We've got so much to do still. And again, unfortunately, a lot of this footage is going to have to come after we get done, right? Because we might be out tonight until 1 o'clock in the morning, and then we got to get started first thing in the morning. So I got to have time to download the videos, and I got to be able to cut them up. Because I'll tell you some things right now. When Joe and I are talking in the car for 8 hours on a recording, we're going to say some things that better not make it into the raw stream. I'll promise you that much. So, so we don't have to cut out large sections, but there are times where we're like, that better not fucking go in the live stream. I'm like, I got it.
Well, listen, guys, I'm just going to share some inside information. DA lives in a secret mountain lair. Like he might be connected to something. I'm telling you, like the feds couldn't find him if they tried.
I was going to say, if he's in a deep underground, deep underground base in the mountains, I want to have Lee's connections, because I've been dying to see some of these underground massive bases that we got in the United States and Canada, man. Well, wait a second.
Might be connected.
Maybe I have.
Yeah, I can't confirm or deny that I might have a tunnel directly to Washington D.C. from my house, but I can't
like he lives in a secret mountain lair. I'll just put it that way, and
that's very
the
cool.
feds will never find him.
Good.
So yeah, I don't know what to say much. I mean, because I mean, obviously with us being on the road, I didn't have any time to put together slides or the presentation. I was just going to want to dial in from the road. We've got some, like I said, we've got some plans we want to do from the road as long as we can stay phone coverage. Again, I kid you not, it makes me angry. Like I've had people yell at me telling me you're an idiot. That's a college campus, DA, that you don't just lose cell phone coverage around a college campus. Well, I beg to differ. We just drove the thing and we lost cell phone coverage a whole bunch. I told you, I went to school here. It's a hilly area. There's hills everywhere. You lose coverage. And I did think after the many long years it's been since I've been here that they would have put in some more towers. But you know what? Two things. One, you do lose cell coverage when you go a certain direction out of Pullman. That's a fact. And I just saw it again tonight. In addition, the overstated or the understated fact, everyone in Moscow pings off the cell tower that services the house at 1122 King Road residence. Don't buy the bullshit that somehow that means Koberger was known to be stalking the house. If you drive into Moscow, you are pinging off the cell tower that services the house at 1122 King Road. It was a manipulation of the wording that people who don't live here and don't know the area don't realize. If you drive into this town, you are pinging off the cell tower that services the home at 1122 King Road residence. So anyways.
And I wanted to steelman Jason Estes' argument one more time before I drop that particular topic. If she was, as allegedly rumored to be, in a relationship with an officer, that would, there's some rumors, and one can back this up, that he went there after he got off his shift. Now, if they were going to be extracted and they had been having some sort of a relationship or arrangement, that would make sense that he would go there before that operation took place, right? So that's that's just another thing that would line up.
There's let me tell you this. I'm gonna tease this, and I know it's gonna sound like a shameless plug for you to sign up for members only, but there's a discussion Joe and I had. I'm not comfortable having on the public stream, but there's a discussion that Joe and I had that was a really fascinating on the riff discussion about Brent Kopacka and the officer that allegedly may have been involved with Kaylee. That is fascinating, but I don't want to do that in the public stream. If you want to hear that discussion, I recommend you sign up for the members only area. And when Joe and I are on the drive tonight, I'll bring up again, because it's just something I don't feel comfortable enough saying in the public stream. It's a theoretical, no proof behind it. But as I told Joe, let me tell you something. Let me repeat this. The narrative that Brian Koberger may have gone to the Mad Greek restaurant with no receipts that he did, and he may have seen Maddie there when there's no proof that he did, and that may have caused him to become obsessed with her, but we don't know that there is any proof of that. That's the narrative that America bought. And you're going to tell me that if I lay out what I tell you that Joe and I were talking about tonight, that's a worse scenario? It's a better scenario than the scenario they've given you and that most people have bought. But anyways, I just want to tease that a little bit. Again, I'm really not trying to shamelessly plug the whole $3 membership. It's only $3. That's $2.99. You can afford the $3 to listen to it. But I don't want to do it on the public stream. I want it to be something that's just a little bit. I don't want that out there in the ether for everyone to hear. But it's an interesting theory that we talked about, and I think it's worth bringing up. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I think so. We talked about a lot of stuff on the drive because we did a lot of driving. So
sounds like you talked a lot about Estes crime maze too.
You were a major subject of the drive, I've got to say, sir.
Hey man, I was shouting out your logic, and I was like I said, trying to steelman that argument because I've considered that to be a possibility. And we brought up the blood. That was one of the things I discussed. I said, what are the chances that no blood would have been tracked outside of the house?
I never thought of that.
You know, like that would have been discussed. Now they had the blood dripping down the side of the house, but if someone had committed a brutal quadruple homicide, it would be, even if they tried to do a cleanup, the chances of no blood making it outside of the house just seems completely illogical to me.
Yeah, and you know, Joe and Lee and Robin and one, I wish we could maybe have a forensic investigator on one day, him or her, and ask the person, you know, show them the blood on the foundation of the house and ask them, how long would you leave actual blood from victims on a foundation of a house, would you not wash that up in 24, 48 hours? And I would think the answer would be yes, but what do I know? Certainly, I don't think they would have left that on for as long as they did, but the feds needed to, I would argue, for us, the public. I bought into it, right? The PSYOP for over a year, looking at this blood in the foundation. I was thinking, well, I guess it's what they told us, right? It's so much blood that all the 4 victims are stabbed to death. But what if it was staged, right? Just it's easy that for a forensic investigator to do that, pig's blood or paint. And again, it's sort of pre-planned. They're going to put this on for us to see. And I think that's what took place there. But, you know.
There's another thing to bring up too, which is a good point. If you want to believe that somehow Kopacka was involved with this and Koberger picked him up and that whole thing, that whole scenario, along the line of what JJ is saying there about the blood, I can tell you personally from myself, Lee has mentioned it a few times because I've told him a few stories. I've been on scene for many jobs that have nothing to do with homicide, just 2 people fighting outside a bar. And maybe one guy gets a bloody nose or gets a cut above his eye. And there is so much blood all over the place. It's everywhere. Anything on the face, fingers too. Fingers bleed like crazy. Think about when you've gotten a cut on your hand, on your fingers.
Yeah.
They bleed like
my nose busted in boxing fights.
Yeah, bleeds like crazy. So if we want to go down the theory that Koberger drove Kopacka and he was there and all that, there's also a problem with that theory as well. And the problem is, okay, Kopacka, whether it was planned or he freaked out or whatever, you know, had his moment and just, you know, PST moment, whatever, went nuts. Okay, now he's going back in the car with Koberger. So you're gonna say, oh well, he changed his clothes and whatnot. And I get all that, but do you want to believe that there's not even one little speck? You know, these when they check, you know, they use the special lights. They check. You could have a little speck that's not even visible to the, you know, it's not visible to the eye. Just one little thing, one little thing, and you don't think that, you know, you think these guys would be that perfect, that not one little speck. And they said, again, if you want to believe that it was Koberger's Elantra that was there, there's no evidence of any type of cleanup of anything in his car. No bleach, no evidence. So we want to believe that Kopacka possibly did this with Koberger or not, got back in Koberger's car. Okay, he packed up his clothes, burned his clothes, threw away the clothes, but not one speck, nothing. It's a little hard to believe.
But one, can you answer yourself, maybe as a former cop, even though not a forensic investigator? Would they leave forensics and law enforcement? Would they leave blood on the foundation of a house day after day after day on a crime like this?
No.
Thank you.
No.
That should be talked about more, maybe.
As far as I know, no, they would not.
Thanks.
And another
one
thing.
is still active duty. So.
Oh yeah.
No.
I you know, one thing too related to the blood is in Howard Bloom's book, I believe it was, they talked about the officer on the scene saying that the smell was so strong when they entered the house. Yet the roommates thought nothing of it and they just thought somebody was passed out.
Yeah,
you know, like
exactly.
that part right there.
Yeah.
There's so many things. And I'm going to wrap up this thing right now and say what I've probably will say many more times. If just one of those things that happened, like the 8-hour delay and no interrogation of the 2 people that were surviving,
Koberger.
But there was no interrogation of that. If just that part, the 8-hour delay, is just all right, so that makes you question the official narrative, and no interrogation of those 2 surviving roommates about that. or possible involvement. They were never asked, did you do it? Did you
Sad.
have something to do with it? Did you know who did it? That was not
Sure.
asked,
That's
right?
bizarre.
So
Yeah.
just that alone raises questions. Now,
Yeah.
take all of the different incongruent details that do not match the official narrative that we have found out since the crime. If you were to do a statistical analysis, there is no way that the probability of the official narrative would be anything but minuscule, right?
man.
So just the more variables that you add that do not add up, the lower the probability is that the official story is accurate.
Yes, I agree. The probability is about the
Yeah.
same as I would believe Steve G that he's honest in all his interviews, in my opinion. Being facetious. But anyway, what were we going to say? 1-1?
I forgot. It's all right.
Oh, I saw your thing go blink.
Yeah.
I thought,
Yeah. I was gonna say something. I forgot though.
do you guys have any questions for Estes Crime Maze at the moment? Because I'm pretty antsy right now. Or any more statements to PsyOp Man? Even though it's not my show?
Yeah,
No.
let me say one thing about that. I love giving space to people who have theories that I don't necessarily go on. I do want to be careful because this entire show has been talking about it's a psyop, it never happened or whatever. And I've told you many times that's not what I believe happened. I don't believe it was a psyop, but I do believe we should leave space for it. I just want to be careful for those from making this entire show be let's talk about it being a psyop, and then somebody
Sure.
signs in and they're like, so Devil's Advocates thinks it's a psyop. That's not.
Sure,
I want to let you guys have the space to discuss that, but I do want to be careful about let's talk about it for another hour. Like I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea again, and I'm not saying it's impossible to be a psyop. I'm just saying that of all the things that my personal intuition, I work on intuition. My intuition says it's not a psyop. I'm willing to accept it. I love hearing your theories, Jason Essie. Honestly, like I'm really seriously considering it. Joe put me through the ringer today and made us walk through the whole thing. So it's not something I'm dismissing, but I just don't want people to get the mistaken idea that I think that's probably what happened. It's not what I think happened in this case, but I do.
Thank you, DA, for having. I think it does take a bit of courage and balls when you're looking at other theories. We're trying to look at all the possibilities of this case, right? What really happened?
Yeah.
That you have somebody such as myself on, and then we all start talking about this possibility of an extraction. A lot of YouTubers, as you know, unfortunately, there's a lot of great ones, but there's also ones that do not want to go there. They don't seem to, unfortunately, have the courage, in my view.
And,
but
here's what I wish. Here's what I wish
maybe
at the
I'm
end of the day. We talk about Pavarotti, we talk about other creators. So Pavarotti, let's generalize Pavarotti's stance. It has to do with drugs, or it has to do with the Aryan Knights. One of those two, right? If it turns out that he's right, if it turns out that you're right, if it turns out that I'm right and it's Kopak as a major involvement, I don't care who it is. We should all just be like, you know what? Good for us figuring it out together as a group, that we were all pushing pressure and we didn't let it go. We should all not have such a fucking huge ego that we can't say, good for you. I'm glad you finally put it together. And I don't care whether it ends up being an extraction or if it ends up being a drug hit or the Aryan Knights. What I want to know is I want to know what really happened. And I want the people who might have walked for murder to go to jail. I want people prosecuted. I want people prosecuted who covered up this crime. If that happened, I want people going to jail. That's what I want. But
I especially respect you guys because you're in the United States, and this is your taxpayers' money. So as you know, you guys don't deserve to be hoodwinked, and you guys deserve the truth on what happened.
Right. The cycle, I would say this, I was talking to Joe about this a little bit. If it was an extraction, think of the emotional turmoil they put the entire country through. People have become hateful towards each other, calling each other horrible names, treating each other like shit over something that at the end of the day may never even have happened. How disgusting would that be? To put everybody through the emotional wreck that we've all become over this case, over something that may not even have happened. I would lose my mind if it never happened.
So here's the question.
I respect. That's why, you and Joe, I respect the amazing, some of your interviews, the Devil's Deep State that you guys do, even though, again, I wish I was part of the PsyOp interview, but Joe's going to make up for that interviewing me apparently. But you guys get into the intelligence agencies, and that's what they're experts at, right? Causing division, causing emotional turmoil at times, and being able to fake at times, as we discussed, faking deaths, literally faking a staged crime scene. But anyway, I won't go on.
Hey, by the way, I think I see Sinful Bitch 420. I've seen her, I think, in
Like that
Birdie's
name.
things. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. I will tell you this, like we're on a laptop screen. I'm sharing a screen with Joe from State of the Deep. I'm back quite as a ways. I can't see the screen super well, so I'm not seeing everybody's chat. If I'm missing you, please don't take it as a sign of disrespect. I know I'm not super great at engaging the chat, but I see every once in a while somebody say, "Hey, DA," or whatever. I see you guys. I do, and later on I'll go back and I'll see kind of things. But thank you so much for coming by and saying hi and hanging out with us tonight as well.
And ladies and men, I just want to say this is very important. I do have clothes underneath. The parental advisory, Robin will eventually figure that out. It's first time her using the StreamYard. We will get rid of that next time. Thank you.
Come on, that's a badge of honor.
Maybe. Yeah. Come on. I was just gonna say everybody likes that. I don't know what the
Dude, if I tell you, see, you got some street cred. If you're so dirty, you have to have a parental advisory slapped over your face all the time. That's street cred right there.
Don't tell my mother, please.
I will say I did see Pav's video from today, and I will say, because he's been very critical, I guess, of people like SD and some other creators. I know he's had some little battles with people back and forth. He actually surprised me today, and in the very beginning of his video, he did make a little tribute to Tommy Jude.
Yeah, I heard that.
We did yesterday, but what was interesting about his video today, he actually kind of took a step back, and he actually, showed like a little more respect, and he was a little more open. He, maybe he doesn't believe necessarily some of the other some of the creators, maybe like yourself, SD, or some other people, but he acknowledged that the overall point of this whole thing, as like Lee said, it doesn't. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who is right, or who got this or who got that. It's about everyone working together to get to the truth. So,
and Pab's listening to us, and we're putting some pressure on him, I believe, to have to take a step back and say some of these correct things. So anyway, that's just my view.
Yeah, one of the things, like, because we all have similar and theories on some aspects of it, and then very disparate opinions about some of the other aspects of the case. Mm-hmm. But the one thing I've maintained from day one is that, and this is not a big stretch at this point in time, but I've said this from day one, in my opinion, without question, as far as I'm concerned, there were drugs involved. Not people, when I would say that, when in the beginning of this case, on Reddit, on the Facebook groups and things like that, in YouTube comments, would go off on me like, "What are you saying? They're college kids. They're not drug addicts." I'm like, guys, snap out of it, man. College kids do drugs, right? That's not controversial in any way, shape, or form, and it's been confirmed. We know that now. So the question is on what to and when I say that, I don't mean that the kids were all wasted on drugs and that's why this happened. No, what I'm saying is that is something that, if in fact there were connections to dealing with that house, then why the police would have known about it in a small town like that, without question. There's no question in this day and age. There's no question about it. And if Kaylee was in fact the rumor, if that was true that she was involved with a cop, that cop would have known about it. Okay, flat out, plain and simple, right? So that's another angle that kind of makes you really think about it. That would facilitate the need for covering certain things up, right? Because what would happen if it came out that this was a drug house, right? And there was a cop involved with one of the people living in that house. That right there would create
not very not very good publicity. No.
No,
but
it's
and again
terrible.
though, excuse me,
Um,
Joe, the crime scene though, right? The students again didn't say
yeah.
anything about blood all over the place. Again, going back to, was there really a crime? Anyway, just a question.
Thanks for the gift, by the way, from Mary for the gift. I appreciate that so much. Just wanted to chime in there. And what was the question that goes with it? Buy a round on us? Oh, yeah, thank you so nice. Thank you so much. Yeah, Joe. Joe and I are going to go to some place in town. I don't know if is it going to be tonight or tomorrow night or both nights. I don't know. Tonight?
Probably not tonight.
I don't
If
think
we're
so
gonna
tonight.
do a lot,
I think tomorrow night.
like the stream,
Yeah.
you know. But we've been tipping a few a little bit.
Yeah, we've had a few drinks. Not tonight. I don't think we've had a drink tonight.
No.
Yesterday we had a couple of drinks, and
Yeah,
but yeah, we're getting to know each other well. You know, I wasn't going to talk about his pink underwear that he sleeps in at night, but I mean, other than that, he's a pretty straightforward guy. Yeah, not bad.
that's pretty good. I mean, if that's the worst that I got to offer, then I say I'm doing pretty good.
That's
I mean,
great.
it takes a man to
I
wear
thought
it.
you.
It takes a man to wear it.
Yeah, you have to be very.
I thought you were gonna. I thought
confident.
you were gonna say he. I thought you were gonna say he doesn't sleep in any underwear.
It takes a strong man to wear pink underwear.
The Speedos was a rough take on it, but it wasn't bad. It was I can live with it.
He's fantasizing about me.
My friend Anne, she also goes by Rosie. She's hopefully listening to these comments, especially about the pink underwear right now. She's probably laughing her heads off. And my friend Don hopefully is on there at some point too.
Yeah, we've had some interesting conversations, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And
We don't-
you know,
we
with
don't doubt it.
all of this stuff, because we spent hours in driving, you know, because he picked me up at the airport and we spent hours, you know, we stayed in Boise one night, but like getting from place to place, we did a lot of driving. And so we had a chance to shoot the shit about all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And I play devil's advocate too. So if someone is totally averse to one idea, what I'll do is I'll try to steel man it to see what could make that possible. Because it has to make sense. Like if things don't have logical things behind them, then I have a hard time grasping them, and I won't accept them as a possibility. So we've talked about a lot of things, but everything to me seems to point to that there was some kind of an operation involved. There's
Almost
too
like
many
a state
things.
of the deep. Sorry.
Right, and like everything. I mean, there's too many things in this case that happened that could have happened just by chance, by coincidence.
I
There's
agree.
too many. Way
Yeah,
too many.
yeah.
Like the house being torn down. Like that
I,
they could give a million excuses for that, but the same thing that happened with the Charlie Kirk assassination. They within 2 days they're paving over the whole area where he was shot. So
Yeah.
that seems like operational to me. And
Sure.
so the thing that a lot of people may not know, I know everybody here knows this because we've talked about it ad nauseum, but anything that the government is involved in can be blanketed under national security. Period. Literally anything. Anything that's involved, if it's any kind of operation, can be covered by national security.
Yep. And then they use that exemptions, especially with this, under the Patriot Act. And again, exemptions under prosecutorial discretion. And I think we saw that with Thompson, right? The prosecution, I don't think many people trusted the prosecution unless you're completely brainwashed in this case. As you know, the prosecution are part of the state, so.
By the way, I'm going to make a
What?
recommendation for a couple of reasons. I'm going to make a recommendation real quick. So we have East Coasters. We have people from all over the world to watch the show. I don't know who's on the stream right now, but being in the West Coast, we're relatively early. But I know that you're an East Coaster. It's already getting a little late, and it may be a work night for you. I want to give you an opportunity to be part of that ride-along members-only area. So what I'm going to recommend we do is I'm going to recommend Robin and Estes and 1-1, you guys to stay on, and Joe and I will shut the feed down. We're going to go get in the car, load up, give us about a half hour. I'll wait for this stream to end. And when you guys end, we'll start up a members only stream and stream from the streets. But I think Joe and I should get in the car and get out there and get going. For that way, for you guys have a chance to get a little bit to watch a little bit of it.
Yeah. Lee, you
All
got
right.
someone that has a question. You got someone that has a question for you here.
Yeah, that's true. I would love to know if anybody has a question before I leave
Well,
and
what
or
they
has.
well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you have time tonight. I know you guys want to get out there, maybe, but I see this Laura M said, DA, do you ever do live call-ins? I've gone on Outcast and said my piece, but I'm curious what your thoughts on my ideas would be. So I
Yes.
don't know if you
So
I don't know if you have,
thank you.
I don't know if you
Thank
have
you. Let
time
me.
tonight.
No, but let me say this. I have tried. I don't know what exactly Birdie's doing, that he's got the magic sauce on everything, but I saw Birdie do live call-ins and it's just one person after another person coming up. I've been on this show multiple times and gave you guys the link and said, hey, come on up for a live thing. I want to invite you up, and nobody takes me up on it. So I don't know what he's doing different than me, but I do want to have live call-ins, and I think the way to do it was just to post a link that you can join backstage, and
Yeah.
I would love to do so. But I've made that offer a whole bunch of times and no one takes me up on it. So I want to do it. I will do it. I will try it again. But I don't know, like, if I need to find out if Birdie's doing it a different way. Is he actually having them call a phone number, or is he just doing the same thing I'm doing, but people do it when he asks and they don't do it when
I
I
think
ask?
he
I don't know.
does. I think he's doing it. I think he's doing
The
it
same
similar
way?
to you, and he gives
Estes
everyone. He
Crime
gives them
Maze.
like he gives them like
Estes
2 or
Crime
3
Maze
minutes.
says, Estes Crime Maze says, everybody, if you feel like calling in to the Great Devil's Advocates League with Joe, 1-1, and Robin, make that call and let's have some fun.
I'm gonna hire Jason Estes to be a personal promo guy. I'm just gonna take him everywhere I
There
go
you
so
go.
he can like.
Yeah, he's the PR guy.
Yeah, look at those guns. Look at this
Oh,
captain.
with the guns and everything.
Yeah, you need to get me on a
Look out,
workout.
I'm going to gain a lot of weight in the next few months, and we are going to have a boxing match, and you're going to get me on your show, Pup, one way or another, and we're going to talk Idaho 4, dude. Let's do it.
You gotta be a little careful, Jason. Don't keep calling out Pav on my show, but it's all good.
Sorry.
I mean,
It's
all-
respectful,
okay.
playful boxing match.
Right. Please understand.
No.
Pav, a lot of stuff with Pavarotti. I personally have the utmost respect for
He's
Pavarotti and what
cool.
he does.
He's entertaining. Okay.
It is.
No problem. Absolutely.
But we do kind of teasingly joke each other, and there is an offer. Pavarotti made the offer. I'll box his ears off. So it's an inside thing. It's kind of a joke. I don't think anybody's taking it too seriously. Just keep in mind that I don't have any bad will towards Pavarotti.
But
I think
Lee-
what he does is great.
Lee, who are you going to root for? Can you
Well,
say that?
yeah. Well, I have to root for you.
Hey,
You're
root for
our
me.
guy.
Yeah, I want to show
Thank
you
you.
something
Thank
while
you.
I got you.
All right. Is there any last minute question anybody desperately wants to? I mean, it sounds vain to even ask, but is there anything anybody wants to ask me specifically before I take off?
No, I just saw that. Like I said, I just saw Laura wanted to come up
Yeah.
on stage to ask you, but
All right. I hope Tiggle Bitties, I hope you know about the offer that's happening. I hope you know that Joe and I are going to get in a car and we're going to go live, members only. So if you want to hang out, Tiggle
Yep.
Bitties backstage is never a horrible thing. So, but anyways, we're gonna get in the car. Joe and I you guys finish up. Robin, go ahead and
Yep.
stay with the audience for a while. I'll text you when Joe and I are getting ready, and then you can shut the stream down and tell me when you shut down, and we'll go live.
I'm gonna respond to Tiggle Bitty's comment there. If we get pulled over or run into trouble, we're just gonna tell them that we're researching the area because we're thinking about sending our kids here.
There you go.
We could pass for a couple, right? DA and I.
Why not?
So
We're about the same age.
that's what we're gonna tell them. If we run into trouble, we're researching the area because we want to send our kids here.
There you go.
Problem solved. Money.
I could tell you're
He's already
overtired, Joe.
gone.
What's that?
I could tell you're overtired. You're really getting
Me?
carried
Yeah,
away, but we love it.
I'm tired. I'm definitely
Yep.
And we're not done yet. We're getting in the car and going members only in a bit. So we may be
That's
tired,
right.
but we're taking one for the team.
That's right. We're gonna stay strong and keep going.
Yeah.
What do we
You're gonna steel man it. You're gonna steel man it.
don't
we're
don't let Lee don't let Lee take advantage.
Joe, that needs to be your merch whenever you get merch up and running. Is Steel Man? You're gonna
Steel Man.
it.
I'm like Charlie Kirk's neck. Bones of steel. They stopped 30-06 rounds.
All right. We'll see you guys in a bit.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, for hanging in there after all the earlier difficulties. But as always, we got it worked out. The $2.99, that will get you the members only area.
Hey,
Again,
are we
it's not.
leaving this going or?
Shut it down. Go ahead and
All right, well, they're
What?
still talking, so.
yeah, we're gonna leave them going.
All right, guys,
Yeah.
we're out.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see you soon. Wish us luck.
Just keep in mind that you know, a lot of times with you know, things you're putting on YouTube or other social places, you may not want everything going out into the whole. So that's why you know, Lee's saying about doing that. So not being $2.99, not being money grabbing or anything like that. It's just that YouTube doesn't allow you to just, that's unfortunately the way that it is. So, but you guys don't want to miss it. Make sure that you come hang out. When they go live, keep, you know, looking for that. I will keep trying to post it. If you're not in the Discord, if you're not in our Discord, I'll post it there. We're also on Facebook. So I don't know, Amanda or somebody, if you can put the Discord link. Where did it go? In the chat. That would be greatly appreciated. Let me see if I can get it posted there. There we go. Then that way you can, well, they're going to be going on a nighttime ride here, showing some of the locations around Moscow and showing some of the surrounding areas. So they're doing a night drive. So you're definitely going to want to stick around for that. You know, $2.99 gets you the month. Again, it's just that there are some things they're going to be discussing, various theories, things like that, that they don't necessarily want out everywhere. So that's the only reason, you know, and like I said, YouTube, unfortunately, that's the way it works with YouTube. They, when you're doing a members only type of thing. So, but
So we got a new member.
Yeah, I see that. Thank you so much, Sudi. That's wonderful. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. So, and to Jason, we can't hear you.
Because I didn't say anything.
Oh, I could have swore you were talking. I'm
No,
losing it.
but I love you, and I'm glad to be here tonight. Thank you.
Well, I guess we will go ahead and get this wrapped up so that we are prepared for those guys. And as soon as they're going live, we'll keep everyone up to date and get everything posted everywhere so that you're aware that they're on and raring to go. Okay, guys?
We appreciate your patience working the StreamYard, Robin. Seriously, I know you're not used to it, so.
Oh, well, I'm learning on the fly, and that's okay. So thank you guys very much for hanging in there with us.
You'll be an expert soon enough.
Soon enough, we'll see. Maybe.
Have a good night, 1-1, Robin.
All right.
Take care,
Good
everybody.
night. Thanks so much, guys.
Oh, I don't think Robin ended the live properly. Whoa, it's just me. Well, folks, before Robin figures this out, I'll say, who am I? If you're new to the channel on Devil's Advocates, I'm Jason, also known as Estes Crime Maze. I hope you might check out my channel and subscribe. If you like my videos, of course, hopefully give me the thumbs up. Helps with the algorithms. Hit that bell icon to be notified for future videos. And feel free to leave me a comment and follow us here at Devil's Advocates, of course. And we thank you for being here on the live. Yeah, looks like I'm still going live here, folks. I guess I'll have to get out of here, out of the live. So thanks for your patience, everybody. Thanks, Ron, for doing an amazing job again. And 1-1 and Joe and DA, they're in the car, folks. They're driving. Take care, my friends, and thank you, Rosie, and for watching tonight. We apologize for the technical difficulties, but they did their best and they've done a great job. thanks everyone. We're talking Idaho 4, and I'm sure we'll talk other cases next time, like Charlie Kirk, again, Luigi Mangione, Mangione. I always butcher that last name half the time, but and of course, what's the other one? Rex Huberman. Anyway, all these are fascinating cases, man. And I'm looking forward to doing more lives with all you guys. Take care. Bye, everybody. Robin, the live is still going. She doesn't know, I don't think. Bye, everybody.